On the basis of hybridization experiment on Pisum sativum, Mendel proposed the principle of inheritance known as Mendel's law. On our previous video, we have discussed about law of segregation. Now in this video, we are going to talk about law of independent assortment. Law of independent assortment was deduced from Mendel's experiment with dihybrid cross. Now the question is, what is dihybrid cross? Dihybrid cross that involves the analysis of two independent traits. And this law states that assortment of gene of one pair is independent of the other pair at the time of gametogenesis. That is, each pair of contrasting character behaves independently and bears no association with a particular character. So what does mean of character or trait? Characteristics. The characteristics of an organism are described as character. And Mendel characters, those are called Mendel characters, and Mendel studies 7 characters or states. All have 2 variants. So that is, each pair of contrasting character behaves independently and bears no association with a particular character. Because of such an independent assortment of character, new combination of character are produced in the offspring. This is the law of independent assortment. Now we are going to explain suppose crosses are made between a pea plant with round and yellow seed and one with a wrinkle and green ones. At first, suppose crosses are made between a pea with round yellow. These are gamete, and capital Y stands for yellow coloration, and capital R indicates its shape round. Similarly, and one with wrinkle and green ones. It means small y indicates green coated seed, smaller indicates its shape is wrinkled. So suppose crosses are made between yellow round with one green yellow round with one green and wrinkled ones. This is the P generation. This is the P generation. P generation. And what does meaning of P generation? P generation, a generation consists of stalks. This YYRR and y small y smaller stalks, which are usually homozygous. They are homozygous for one and more traits. These are traits because they are characteristics: yellow round characteristics and green wrinkle characteristics. One and more stages from which the parent use in first cross of a genetic experiment. After that, F1 generation and F2 generation come. So here about P generation. So what about F1 generation? F1 generation, it means first filial generation. F1 means first generation, was first filial generation. They are all hybrids that show the dominant states. In this law, capital Y, capital R multiply small y, small r, it gives one capital Y from its states and one capital R and small y and gives small r, and both gamete makes capital Y, capital R, small r. It's a hybridized form. And it also round yellow. It means here yellow color is dominant over the green color, and round shape is dominant over the wrinkle. So in F1 generation, F1 hybrid gives yellow and round shape. Here in P generation, YYRR and small y, smaller, it gives gamete capital Y, capital R, and it gives gamete small y, small r, and it hybridized form is capital Y, capital R, small r, which is round yellow round sheet, and this is the F1 generation. Here the F1 hybrid plants are allowed to self-fertilized. Means capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, capital R, small r. This is self-fertilized, and it gives individually capital Y, small y, capital R, small r gives individually gametes capital Y, small y, capital R, small r, if you ignore now this gamete, so it gives Y, capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r. Now similarly, now we ignore this one and it gives small y, capital R, small y, small r. Small y, small r. Clear? F1 hybrid plant produce 4 kinds of gamete in equal frequency. 4 kinds of gamete in equal frequencies. Smaller, small y, smaller. 1/4 capital Y, capital R, 1/4 capital Y, smaller, 1/4 capital Y, small y, capital R, and 1/4 small y, smaller. So F1 hybrid plant gives or produce 4 kinds of gamete in equal frequencies, and it can be figured out in the following way. This gamete then randomly combine in F1 dose, and here is the frequency 1/4. This total number of gametes is 4, and outcome of only y by o is y and r is 1/1, so it's 1 out of 4 is 1. The number of frequency of yr is 1/4 by 1/4. The tendency of frequency of each and every allele is 1/4. Now, when F1 hybrid plants are crossed each other and allowed to self-fertilize, then F2 generation forms and represented in the following figure. The outcome of dihybrid cross make it very clear that segregation of seed color is independent. The use of Punnett square helps to demonstrate all 16 possible combination of this gamete. So let's see, and what about F2 generation? F2 generation is second filial generation. It means second generation which are grandchild of P generation. Here F2 generation is, it means F2 generations are the grandchild of P generation. So if you make a checkerboard or Punnett square, one, 2, 3 and 4. 1, make it carefully. One, 2, 3 and 4, like that. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now gametes are capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r, small y, capital R, small y, small r. Here also capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r, small y, capital R, small y, small r. Now multiply between them and write them. Capital Y, and there is micro and macro. Capital Y, capital R, like that. Here capital Y, here's from capital Y, here's capital R, and here's from small r, like that. Capital Y, small y, capital R, and capital Y, small y, capital R, small r, capital Y, bigger and smaller, capital Y, smaller, capital Y, here from small y, capital R, smaller, capital Y, small y, smaller and smaller, like that. Capital Y, small y, capital R, capital Y, small y, capital R, small y, capital R, small y, capital R, small r. And the last one, here this is small y and small r, capital Y, small y, bigger and smaller, capital Y, small y, smaller, small y, capital R, smaller, small y, smaller. This is the Punnett square or outcome of dihybrid cross. Make it very clear that segregation of the seed color is independent. After that, we will discuss about the color of the outcomes. The color is independent at the seed shape, and both of the parental and the new combination of the character appears in the F2 offspring, and that is assortment. And that is assortment. Assortment of what? Assortment of gene. Assortment of gene of one pair is independent of one pair is independent of the other pair. Now clear. So from the first, we will cross between a homozygous trait with another homozygous trait. Suppose crosses are made between a round yellow and green wrinkle, and F1 hybrid gives yellow round seed. Since yellow color is dominant over the green color and round shape is dominant over the wrinkled, and when the F1 hybrid plants are crossed to each other and allowed to self-fertilized, then F2 generation form in the following figure. Now I summarized the independent law. If you summarize of F2 generation, you can see that here the genotypic column, here phenotypic column, and the number of frequency. From the Punnett square, we get this type of genotypic characteristics, and these are the phenotypic characteristics, and this is the number of frequency. This is capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. This capital R gives round shape, and this capital Y gives yellow color. So this phenotypic characteristics gives 1 out of 16. We know that 16 possible combination of this gamete. I discuss about that 16 possible characteristics. 1 out of 16 it gives. Like that, capital R gives similarly round shape, and capital Y small y gives yellow shape. This is also round yellow and this is also round yellow. They are phenotypically same but genotypically different, because here is not homozygous, this is the heterozygous. Capital Y is dominant over the small y. We know that, we discuss about that. Yellow color is dominant over the green color, so it gives round yellow, but genotypically it is different from RR capital Y, but both give same result, same phenotypic characteristics. And from the chart you will get 2 number of possibilities of this type of genotypic characteristics. So it is 2 out of 16. This is capital R and small y. It gives round green, but in P generation there is no question about round green characteristics. no discuss about brown green characteristics. So this one is new formation from pre-generation. This is the new formation or new characteristics from pre-generation, and it gives 1 out of 16. Similarly, capital R, small r, it gives round, because we know that round color is dominant over wrinkled, and capital Y know that gives yellow. So it also round yellow, but genotypically is not same as above, and it gives from the chart 2 out of 16. Capital R small r gives round, capital Y small y gives yellow. Genotypically is different but phenotypically same. So it gives 4 out of 16. We get 4 in Punnett square from 16. Now capital R, small y, it gives round green is another one new characteristics, which is similar as round green phenotypically, but genotypically is not same. Both are different, and it gives 2 out of 16 possibilities. Smaller and big Y, wrinkle yellow. Here, there another one new character is arised, which is absent in P generation, and it gives 1 out of 16. Smaller big Y, smaller gives wrinkled, and big Y, small y gives yellow color, which is similar as above, but the genotypically is not same, it's a different, and it gives 2 out of 16. And last one is smaller and small y, which is present or homozygous character in P generation, which is wrinkle greens, it gives 1 out of 16. If you see that round yellow, you get round yellow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. So number 4 and 2, 6, 6 and 2, 8. Oh, sorry. Round yellow number 1. Round yellow 2 means total 3. Round yellow 2 means 5. Total number of round yellow is 5, and 4 is 9. This is the 9. Round green, number of round green 1, round green 1 and 2, 3. Wrinkled yellow, number of wrinkled yellow number 1, number of wrinkled 2, which genotypically you get number of you get RR capital Y, smaller capital Y, number is 2, and the total number is 3. And last one is wrinkled green is 1. These are the phenotypic characteristics. So phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. Clear? Like that. So genotypic ratio is 1:2:3 1:2:4:2:1:2:1. This number are the genotypic ratio. So here is phenotypic ratio, and this one is genotypic ratio. Thus, with complete dominance, a self-fertilized dihybrid gives 9:3:3:1 phenotypic ratio in its offspring F2. A 1:2:4:2:1:2:1 genotypic ratio also occurred in F2 generation. From this result, it is evident that each pair of contrasting characters behaves independently and bears no association with the particular character. So we can conclude that in Mendel dihybrid cross experiment, heterozygous parents always produce the same ratio of offspring of phenotypes. The ratio is already discussed, already told, that 9:3:3:1. That means 9 dominant for both traits, 3 dominant for just one trait, 3 dominant for just one other trait, and 1 with the recessive phenotype for both traits. This happened because the traits Mendel look did not sort independently. Hope this video will help you to understand the law of independent assortment. If you want to get more video from our channel, please click the bell icon and subscribe our channel. Thank you.